I made a Lightforged priest just because I think they're really cute. And I wanted to like take another look at the Lightforged customization options. And I figure maybe if I'm stuck on my paladin, maybe I would prefer to. Oh no, wrong. The bad button to misclick. WoW just released developer content update on YouTube. Wait, why? BlizzCon is in. Hang on, I have a thing that'll tell me 25 days. What do you have to tell us that cannot wait for 25 days? I'll finish this dungeon and then we can watch it? Yeah? If this is gonna be 20 minutes, I want a snack, but I don't know if I can make you guys wait any longer. Hang on, I'm gonna grab one of those weird cheese things.
Hey everybody. It has been an amazing month for World of Warcraft. Ever since WoW Classic launched on August 26th, we've seen millions of players around the world jump in to explore Azeroth as it stood before the Cataclysm. Whether you're revisiting old memories or experiencing it for the very first time, it's been humbling for the team to share in the community's passion and enthusiasm around this classic experience. We've seen players hit max level. We have seen Onyxia and Ragnaros fall. Several Sulfuruses have been crafted around the world. We've even heard about a couple of epic BOEs ninja looted, shame on you. And many, many Devil Sores have fallen and donated their leather to fuel the server's economy of Devil Sore leather. I'm excited to announce that the next major content update coming to World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth is Visions of N'alotha that will answer that question and so much more. For the first time, we're going to see an old god unleashed in their full might, in their dark fury. We have seen Cthulhu's Eye. We have seen Yogg-Saron locked away in a prison. We have heard of Ysarge, who perished long, long ago. But now, for the first time, we are contending with an old god that is fully free of all shackles, to roam Azeroth, to reach out with his tentacles and tendrils and plot and plan and undermine all that keeps us safe. That is the threat that we face in Visions of N'alotha. Ny'alotha, the sleeping city, the dreaming city, as some have called it, is the domain of the Black Empire. It is this alternate world inhabited by the old gods and their minions. And it's not a distant location for us to travel to via a starship or a portal. It's in fact all around us, on the other side of this thin veil. And what N'alotha is doing is tearing that veil down, bringing horrible nightmares and dark visions
This is
of
Stranger
a future
Things.
in which the forces of the old god are ascendant into our world. And if we don't stop him, there will be nothing
This is World of Warcraft Stranger Things.
left of Azeroth to defend. Because this has been a battle for Azeroth between the Alliance and Horde, but it's also always been a battle for the safety of Azeroth, for the future of Azeroth that our heroes have been waging all along. And this now is coming to its conclusion. Now, Titan facilities across Azeroth are the key to containing, controlling, and understanding the power of N'alotha. The Titans have always been our world's last bulwark against the assault of the old gods. And so, of course, those facilities are being assaulted by the minions of N'alotha, whether humanoid allies, horrible insects, or the eldritch creatures of the old gods themselves. We're going to have to rally to their defense and actually venture through these rifts into the world that N'alotha's minions inhabit, into an alternate reality that reflects the manifestation of all of N'alotha's goals, to analyze it, understand the power of the old gods, and destroy these visions from within. Let me talk about what that actually means in practice in terms of gameplay. Now, the first sign of N'alotha's power that we're going to witness firsthand are assaults by his minions on two key locations in Azeroth that are home to Titan facilities. Now, these Titan facilities are our world's last defense, our final bulwark against N'alotha coming completely into our world and plunging it into madness. So when an assault is active, the zone will be overcome with powerful lieutenants of N'alotha.
This sounds really familiar. I'll keep playing and maybe he explains how it's different, but so far, like, it sounds an awful lot like a Legion assault / a faction incursion / even like the invasion point portals. Like, how does this differ?
Enemies to defeat, treasures to uncover, puzzles to solve, and much more. Building out this content has drawn upon everything that we've learned in making assaults in Tides of Vengeance, as well as major zones like Mechagon and Nashtatar most recently.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at a couple of these locations. First off, Uldum, home to the Halls of Origination, a great Titan vault, is going to come under regular assault by the minions of N'alotha. When an assault is active in the zone, players will rally to Uldum and battle across the zone against the Old God's minions. Now, another key location in Azeroth that's home to a major Titan facility is the Vale of Eternal Blossoms back in Pandaria. Mogushan Vaults is what I'm referring to, of course. Now, last time we saw the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, it had been blighted with dark Shah energy unleashed by Garrosh towards the end of Mists of Pandaria. Now, the passage of time and the natural redemption that came at the end of that arc has finally healed those old wounds to the land. And the Vale stands fully restored to its original glory for all players to visit in this next content update. At least until it comes under attack by the minions of the Old God and is once again plunged into a new type of darkness. Don't worry, it's only going to look like this while N'alotha is actively assaulting it. Otherwise, and in the long run, the original pristine Vale is here to stay. But you will want to journey here, fight off the Old God's minions, unravel the mysteries behind them, and do everything you can to thwart this great threat that's facing Azeroth. Now, Visions of N'alotha isn't just the name of this content update, it's also the name of its major new feature. By completing assaults, you'll be able to earn your way into the deepest recesses of N'alotha's mind and the reality that's seeking to manifest itself across Azeroth. There are these horrific visions, which are 1 to 5 player content centered around the capital cities of Orgrimmar and Stormwind that show us an alternate reality of what might come to pass if we do not succeed. Here we see maps of Orgrimmar and Stormwind indicating the deepening corruption the farther into the cities we go. Now, when you first enter a horrific vision, I can virtually guarantee you're not going to make it very far. Your mind will succumb to N'alotha's relentless assault as your sanity slips away. You'll begin to experience effects, various detrimental effects, some cosmetic, some very serious mechanical hindrances, as your sanity literally is drained by being within this horrific vision and by facing off against N'alotha's minions. You will have to retreat, but you'll do it taking with you the things that you've learned along the way, which will enable you to build better defenses for your future trips. Now, we're going to be working with none other than Wrathion, son of Deathwing, who knows a thing or two about corruption, because his father, of course, was famously plunged into madness by N'alotha's corruption. And what else does Wrathion know?
Sorry. So they're for 1 to 5 people, which is interesting with the thing he's saying about how you progress through them by taking what you learn from each one. I don't know if he means like literally what you learned and what you know and what you could potentially read off a Wowhead guide, or if it's going to be more Withered Army training style where every time you do it, you get a buff that you get to bring with you next time. But I'm interested to see how that pans out in a 1 to 5 player thing. I think that's going to be kind of... I don't understand it yet. I want to know more.
Know very well. Well, of course, legendary cloaks. And Wrathion is going to work with us to create a legendary cloak that will initially provide some sort of defense, some sort of shield against N'alotha's sanity-draining attacks. This will enable us to venture deeper and deeper into these visions on our successive visits, earning greater rewards, also unlocking more of the mysteries behind N'alotha's power.
Okay.
This cloak may actually also come in handy when you face off against N'alotha himself further down the road. Now, in addition to the legendary cloaks, you'll also be taking fragments of N'alotha's corruption out of these horrific visions with you. You can bring them to Mother and Magni to analyze and research, which will allow you and allow them to strengthen your defenses against N'alotha's corruption and give you new tools to battle him and his minions. These will help your future visits into the horrific visions, allowing you to delve deeper, overcome greater threats, and weather the effects of his sanity-draining attacks. Ever since the Mage Tower in Legion, we've been looking for a way to provide a more satisfying solo progression experience and a real challenge that you can work towards on your own without needing a group of dungeon players or raiders or a battleground group at your side. And that's one of our goals, really, in crafting this Visions of N'alotha feature and these horrific visions. This is an experience that you can go into entirely solo and work your way through, making progress further and further each time as you gain the benefit of Titan research, understand the tricks and the threats posed by N'alotha's enemies, and eventually fully clear the vision at the end of your journey. Now, of course, you can also bring friends in with you. We've made this experience something that will scale seamlessly from 1 to 5 players, regardless of your role, and the rewards are equal regardless of the size of your group. We want to let you experience this the way that best suits your playstyle. We can't wait to let players check this out on the PTR and hear from you what you think. And all of this is leading to a showdown with N'alotha himself. And that journey is going to take us into the sprawling raid that is the centerpiece of this content update, Ny'alotha, a 12-boss raid that showcases the full splendor of the Black Empire. We're going to have to fight our way through the military might of N'alotha's minions, disgusting spawning pools that have created the corruptions that we've seen across the years, the insectoid allies and minions of N'alotha, those humans that have decided to embrace his cause of corruption, and much more.
Me.
At the end of this journey awaits the old god himself. We're going to need all of our allies, all of our might, all that we have learned through our research, our work with Magni, and channeling the power of Azeroth herself in order to emerge triumphant and save Azeroth. We also have a number of changes coming to our reward systems with Visions of N'alotha. In addition to the legendary cloak that I mentioned earlier, that you can earn and upgrade to defend yourself against N'alotha's assaults, we'll also have new levels for the Heart of Azeroth that come with it both passive benefits and an all-new essence slot. Now, that slot can be filled by a number of new essences that you'll be able to earn through content such as the assaults on Uldum and Vale of Eternal Blossoms, delving into horrific visions, our new Mythic Plus season, PvP, the Ny'alotha raid, and more.
Okay.
And also, as we're seeing assaults by the minions of N'alotha on Titan forges around the world, we have to wonder, is it possible that these assaults on Titan
They're assaulting the Titan forging. People have wanted them to assault Titan forging forever.
forges might somehow change the nature of Titan forging?
Oh, that's what
This
they're
is
doing.
something we are still discussing, and we are working on a plan that we'll be able to roll out in the very near future. But we're excited about the idea of embracing the old god threat this time around to replace Titan forging with something a bit different, something a bit more twisted and corrupt, that also ideally works to preserve the value of item level and the correlation between doing difficult content and getting the best rewards. Also coming in Visions of N'alotha, at long last, are a couple of new allied races joining the Horde and the Alliance.
What?
First off, on the Horde side, in a shock to everyone I'm sure, we have the Vulpera of Vol'dun, who will be joining the Horde. And if you've completed the Vol'dun level up questline and you're exalted with the Vol'dunai, you'll be able to jump in Visions of N'alotha, complete a questline, and run around as a Vulpera of your
Horde only adorable foxes. Sorry, my camera froze. Let me fix that. Horde only adorable foxes. That'll teach all of us bee riders. Horde only adorable foxes. Eat that. I don't even know who I'm telling to eat that, but somebody's gonna eat it.
very own. Alpaca not included. Sorry.
What?
On the Alliance
You're not gonna give them alpacas? I want an alpaca. Yeah, but what are they gonna ride then? Each other?
side, in the meantime,
What do we
the
get?
Mechagnomes of Mechagon
Oh.
are joining their gnomish brethren on the Alliance.
That makes sense.
Grateful for the aid that's been rendered in overthrowing the despotic rule of King Mechagon, the Mechagnomes will complete a quest line for those of you who are exalted with Mechagon and can join the Alliance, and you
Thanks for the
too
4
can
months.
have a gnome of your very own
Appreciate
with
it.
a robot arm and or leg, your choice. I'm also happy to share that we're adding new Heritage Armor quest lines for the recently updated Goblin and Worgen, coming in Visions of N'alotha.
Makes sense.
On the Goblin side, you'll
Ooh,
be
those are
able
cool.
to earn this
Look at their shoulder
perfectly
rocket.
suitable set, complete with
shoulder rocket.
explosives and rockets and everything else that makes a Goblin's
It's
cold
so
heart
out
happy.
there.
And of course, for Worgen, what Worgen would be complete without a top hat?
Oh my God,
You
the
can at
hats.
long last use to express your true snooty inner self, or just walk around as a wolf in a top
Those
hat.
coats are
Who doesn't
nice.
want to do that, really? Also coming with Visions of N'alotha is a complete overhaul of our auction house. This isn't
Oh my
just a
God.
UI reskin, but we actually redesigned and rebuilt the guts of the system to make it faster, more performant, and to get rid of those annoying single stacks that literally no one likes. We recognize that there are hundreds of thousands of transactions happening across our auction houses on a regular basis, and we want to create a modern system that's smooth and easy to use. In redesigning the auction house, we had a couple of major goals. First off, we wanted to make the whole thing smoother and more performant. This is something that we started working on right around the launch of Battle for Azeroth, when folks may remember the auction houses were clogged with tons and tons of single stacks, and searches and even purchasing or selling things might take several seconds or upwards of a minute in some unfortunate cases. We want to make sure that never happens again. Separately, we want to tailor the auction house functionality to the way that most people use it most frequently. And so, if you're just somebody who goes to the auction house periodically to buy consumables for your raid or to sell some extra stacks of cloth or ore, we want to make that as smooth and as seamless a process as possible. The first major change that we've made.
Dope. That's exactly what you need. That'll replace Auctionator for people. You want to know what the lowest price is. You want to post it at the lowest price. That's perfect. I need more time with it, but that's so much better.
It is separating out stackable items to effectively create a separate commodities market, where you can just go list a stack of ore or cloth or potions, and people who are purchasing them can purchase portions of a stack. There's no more sense of there's one of this and two of this. There just happen to be 117 pieces of ore at this price, listed by 7 or 8 different buyers. If you want to buy them, you can just buy 15 pieces. It'll buy part of someone's stack.
I need to watch that again. What?
There just happen to be 117 pieces of ore at this.
There was a little pop-up that said there's no need to undercut. Auctions posted later, sell first? Auctions posted later, sell first?
This price.
I'm very confused. I need somebody really smart to explain this to me.
Listed by 7 or 8 different buyers. If you want to buy them, you can just buy 15 pieces. It'll buy part of someone's stack, send them the gold. If you've listed a stack and only part of it sold, you'll get the gold for what's sold and the remainder back in the mail to you. Also, we have the ability to favorite items and create a shopping list for yourself. So if you regularly forget the name of that specific cut of gem or that consumable, you can just have a checklist that you can quickly search for and buy on the go.
Sick.
And on the selling side, you won't have to worry about stack sizes as you're listing your goods, and undercutting is much less of a factor in the market as it plays out in practice. Ultimately, we've just tried to offer.
What does this do to, I'm asking rhetorically, I don't expect to understand yet. I want to know what this does to reset scans. That's really big.
Offer improved functionality, a smoother interface, and faster responsiveness for people on all sides of the market, as well as some of the power users out there. We can't wait for people to check it out on the PTR, let us know what you think, and we'll be listening to see any further improvements we can make. So that's just some of what Visions of N'Zoth has to offer. Also coming in this content update is a heroic version of the Darkshore Warfront,
Calm down.
a new PvP season, Season 4 of Battle for Azeroth, with, of course, all new rewards.
Thanks for the sub.
And a new mythic keystone affix that reflects N'Zoth's corrupting influence as his tendrils spread their way across Azeroth. With this corrupted affix active, when you go into a dungeon in Season 4, you'll see occasional Black Empire obelisks dotting the landscape. Interacting with one of these obelisks will pull you into an alternate world where we see N'Zoth's power ascendant and a powerful lieutenant of his stands guard. Defeating that lieutenant will return you to your regular reality, but will do so in whatever location you're currently standing when that mini-boss is defeated. This will enable some interesting skips that don't involve the use of Shroud of Concealment or invisibility. Now, of course, if you keep these minions alive and you just decide to ignore them entirely, they may come and pay you a visit as you're fighting the final boss of the dungeon. You'll want to strategize very carefully as you approach dungeons with the corrupted affix in play during BFA Season 4.
That's dope. I love that.
Now, you may be wondering when you're going to get to check all of this out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy to announce that we're working literally as I speak on getting this uploaded to our public test realm for the entire world, and we should have it live later today.
What?
You'll be able to jump in check out Assaults by N'Zoth's Minions,
No way.
venture into your very first horrific visions, and much more. And just after that,
Cat,
stay
clear my
tuned for
calendar.
news regarding multiplayer raid testing and more.
Oh God. Here
Thank
we
you
go
all
again.
so much. We'll be listening very closely to all of your feedback from the PTR. And just around the corner after that, see you at BlizzCon.
They must have some good stuff to show us at BlizzCon about the next expansion if they're willing to throw all of that out right now. They must have something good. They work so hard. There's so much stuff. I'm not even done with the last batch of stuff, and I play an unhealthy. I'm having a stroke. I'm playing an unhealthy and unreasonable amount of WoW, and I'm not even caught up. Dudes. I'm having so many feelings. No sleep till after BlizzCon? Oh my goodness. That auction house is really, really intriguing. I am very interested to see what's up with that, because it looks like it fixes a lot of the basic issues, which were how awful it was to try and just buy and sell stuff. They're going above and beyond with this buy partial stacks thing. It doesn't sound like they're doing buy orders. I just really want to know how this is going to work in practice for the power user that like somebody like me, who if I'm making gold all day, will sit and reset my auctions to constantly have the lowest price, because that not only affects the current undercutting, cancel scanning behavior of gold makers, not only affects whether or not they sell their item, but it also drives item prices down because we're undercutting each other. You know, not very quickly, assuming everybody's doing it for minimal amounts, but still. I want to see what this is going to do to the market. Oh my God, there's so much. I need a nap. Want a Black Empire mog? Oh my God, the raid looks so cool. So I was real disappointed when they said, we're going to the Black City, and then it was like mop, and I'm like, hang on, I've been there already. But the raid looks like the thing that I want. Let's see, the Mythic Plus affixes look so cool. Somebody will find a way to be mad about them, but they look real neat. Hazel mentioned the auction house needing changes. That didn't even need me to say it. The universe knew that the auction house needed changes. They've known that that's a pain point for a long time. That's not news. I'm really glad that they're finally doing something about it, though. I feel like that's been just kind of put off because there must have been something really gross about it. They wouldn't have left it that long without a good reason. I need a 6-hour Hazel stream to explain the items point by point. I need somebody to explain them point by point to me. I'm about to go read through the fan site write-ups with bullet points to compare them to each other and see if that helps me process it anymore, because I'm still very confused. My big takeaways: 1, allied race is confirmed. Secondly, auction house stuff I need to know. I need to understand more. Thirdly, they have to have something so good. They would not give us all of this juicy information pre-BlizzCon. This is basically them taking all of this stuff that could make them look really good at BlizzCon and being like, we don't even need it. Throw that, just let them have it now. We're good. Because they know how much they need to not tank on the stage at BlizzCon. So they got something good. Raid testing at BlizzCon. Oh no. What do you think they'll do with Titan Forging? I don't know if they know what they're doing with Titan Forging. I just thought that was like a funny pun. And then I realized, oh no, they're actually getting rid of Titan Forging. But they said they're replacing it with something else, and that they're not even committed, like they don't even know yet. I'm sure they have ideas, but they're not even ready to commit to one of them yet. What else are you gonna do? Like, I never minded Titan Forging, but I also won't be upset if they get rid of it. I'm fine either way. I was down for what Titan Forging offers, which is basically sort of like there's a soft cap where you like get your gear, but then if you continue to play, you can kind of have things get easier over time anyways. So I'm fine with that, but I understand there's a lot of valid issues with Titan Forging, so I'm also fine with them trashing it. But like, what else are they gonna do? They understand that Titan Forging was controversial, and they clearly understand why. So anything that they replace it with, they're gonna need to go into it knowing what people will expect and not expect from it. They can't make it worse, right? wanted some Lightforged Forsaken. I mean, I still have hope that they're coming in the future, but so they announced Vulpera for the Horde, and I knew they were going to announce an Alliance race, and I should have known it was going to be Mechagnomes, but my heart was really ready for some Alliance Undead. 8.3 looks nice. 8.3 looks huge. There's a lot of stuff that felt like it belonged in an X-Pack, which makes me wonder how full 9.0 is going to be. It reminds me of the last patch of, it reminds me a lot of the last patch of Legion, except with other things from Legion put in there. Like this whole concept of, what do they call them? Horrific visions. The Stormwind Orgrimmar thing that you can go in with between 1 and 5 players. And I loved how they were like, so you can do this with your friends if you have friends, but if you don't have friends, it's okay. You don't need to have friends. You're lonely. We're not going to make it worse for you. And talking about a Mage Tower-like experience. And then a Legendary. And then whatever the heck the triangular essences are. And then that extra little, like, talent window. Like, they're not afraid of making this too complicated, are they? There used to be talk about making WoW more beginner-friendly. What is somebody who starts playing WoW for the very first time, you know, they got swept up in the classic hype, and then they're like, I'm going to try retail, and they level up in patch 8.3, and they get to max level, and they go, I have talent trees on my shoulders, I have a talent tree on my neck, I have a talent tree on my cloak, I have a talent tree on, I have essences for this shape slot and for this shape slot, and then I have an actual talent tree, and then I have a PvP talent tree. And oh my god, what are they gonna do?